Hey, everybody, it's the program. Here we are on TV. Once again. Twice again, 3 times a person. You ever seen this feat of modern technology? It might look like I'm in the room with you right now, through a window. But I'm not, probably, unless I'm there in the future and you're watching this when I'm there also. Or if there's somebody in this room right now who is hiding in the corners. And, you know, I've said that so many times that I think it could be happening. Maybe I'm just picking up on things and my subconscious is trying to tell me, like, there is somebody. You did see somebody. Oh, that's a bad one too. It's not a good thing to think about every time I start the show, but I keep thinking of it because I say about this, like, this whole being on TV and seeing somebody in the room. But you ever, like, think back in your memories and, like, think about when you were alone last? Oh no, in your memories, you remember when you saw somebody under the table? There was a face under the table watching you, trying to not be seen. It's in your memory, and you didn't even know. Now you go back and search your memory, and you're like, it was there. I don't think things you don't notice at the time, they don't make it into your memories, because it's not like other things. It's like, okay, think back. Think back at the time you were there. If you didn't notice it at the time, then you probably didn't make a memory of it. But did you? How much stuff is in there that you don't even know about? You know, like that time. There's that time when you try to think of a thing, and it's, you know, it's like tip of the tongue kind of stuff. Like, how can stuff be tip of the tongue? And once somebody says it, it's like, of course. And they're like, no, that's not it. Is it this? You say, no, it's not that. How about this? It's like, no, I'm wrestling with. I'm wearing too many headphones. Is it? Oh, and sunglasses. Oh, and my trap around my ears too. Is it this? No, it starts with this letter. How about the? It's like D, demolition man. Oh yeah, I was like, it's like dinner with Andre. The halls. No, it was Demolition Man. It was demonstrations of another world thing. It was demonstration. Oh, what's that thing? Demonstrations from another world of beyond the reality. Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's the thing I was trying to think of. It starts with a D, right? You know that word? Ding ding, ding dang, ding dang, ding dang. Are you thinking about ding dang? Ding dang. It was ding dang. Ding dang was on the tip of my tongue. I was saying ding dang, ding dong, tip dib dab doop. I'm just saying random words now. These are the sounds. This counts as talking, though, does it not? For this talk show, a bing bang diddle dip dip. I know sometimes I say that we start talking, and never do I say that I'm going to talk coherently using sentences that are able, like, to dear ground blib blib. Ding 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 blib blib dib dibble dibble dib 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 dib. It's the tip of your tongue, and you have thoughts in your mind that you don't even have access to. Maybe until you go back to it. You ever have seen a movie and you don't know what happens every single second of that movie, and they're like, okay, you write this movie. Like, it's like, can you see a movie? And like, after you, oh, have you seen that movie? Oh yeah, I've seen that movie. Well, write it. I was like, well, I can't write a movie after. I was like, I can't write a movie. Well, you've seen it, right? You remember it? You remember the movie? Well, then it's like, well, you want to go see this movie? In the theater? And you say, I already paid my $12. I don't want to go back a second time. I've already seen it. It's going to be, well, so you remember the movie then, right? And you say, yeah, this is like, yeah, I don't know about Crazy Voice. I'm going to try to pull out Crazy Voice. But this is just the two voices, and you're like, well, you remember the movie, don't you? You say, well, yeah, I remember. That's why I don't want to see it again. I already saw it one time. What else would be, like, why do I not want to see the same thing twice in a row? I guess why not, right? I remember last time I saw something twice in the theaters. I don't know. Not too often. Very little time, because you're going to see it on TV at home later on in your home thing. Why did you go in the theater more than one time? But they do the thing, and then they have, they're like, oh, you remember the movie? You remember this movie? And you say, I remember the movie. Yes, I do remember that movie. And then they say, well, then how about what happened? Why don't you write it? Why can't you write the movie? You remember every word of the movie? And you're like, I guess I don't. But then when you start watching the movie, every word is somewhat familiar, or at least every plot point and every, like, image. And you're like, oh, yeah, I've seen these things. These are in my memories, but maybe not every single image, but it's definitely enough of them that they pass you by. Like, what's the plot? You know the plot? I saw, like, Gone with the Wind or like in a long time ago, and I can see I've seen that movie, and it's like, well, are you familiar with the movie? So I guess I am. Scarlett O'Hara or something in the Civil War, right? But I don't remember a single thing about it. Cause, frankly, I don't care about anything. Frankly, Sheila, I no longer care. Whatever that is, they're dancing with wolves. Gone with the Wind. I've seen the movie. It's been a long time though, and why would I watch that? Why would I ever have watched that? But I must have, I think, at some point, like a long time ago. So it's like, you want to watch Gone with the Wind? I said, I guess I do. I agreed to. Well, at least it was there. Maybe it was on television. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this movie before. Well, you better watch it now. 1922, the Oscar picture winner, maybe. You want to see this really old movie? Let's say, frankly, my darling, I'm no longer interested. I've never been interested. But I don't remember what happens in the movie at all. Something about the Civil War, that's all. I mean, but that's not even something that I know from actually watching the movie. That's something that I know from just, like, maybe trivia or something. I wonder if I have seen it. Now I'm having an experience about tip of my brain kind of tongue scenario where I don't remember anything about it. But if I were to sit down and watch it, maybe I would remember it. And that's the thing, is that right now when I'm trying to search my memories, it's like in there. Well, now I'm like searching that one time when I was like, thought I was alone, and I saw that person looking at back. Ooh, that was not a good memory. Maybe there's somebody in the corner right now. Don't look, don't turn around, there's somebody behind you. Especially right now, if somebody turned around and somebody was behind me, it would be extra bad because there's a wall behind me. There's no room for anybody to be standing, so if there was somebody behind me, they would have to be breaking the rules of physics and reality, and maybe that would be the beginning of my demise. Like, either reality doesn't exist or I'm insane. Either scenario is not great. And maybe it's a combination. Maybe all those crazy people, they just have extra senses, but I don't think so, because a lot of them are egotistical and they think that they're the center of everything. And also some of them are, they can end up doing bad things if you're super insane. But look out. Hopefully there's no strangers in your room, or even people. Hopefully there's no people in there if you think that you're alone. Hopefully you are, and nobody you know. Would you rather have it be a stranger or somebody that you kind of know? I would say definitely kind of know. I would say, like, John Webster? Not John Webster, but I just said John. It's the most generic name I could think of. And say, John, you really freaked the hell out of me. What are you doing sneaking around in here? And they're just like looking still. If it was a total stranger, you just go, ah! That's what I would do. might do that anyway, even if it was like a medium stranger. It depends, I guess, definitely how far the stranger is. Like how comfortable you are with them. Like, Mom, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you in a while. This is scary. You're scaring me. What's wrong? And then you're worried about their health. If it's a stranger and you're like, what are you doing? Are you here to hurt me? I sure hope not. Because I don't want to hurt anybody. I hope nobody wants to hurt me, and I don't know. I'm going to have to talk this out. I'm going to say nothing. They say nothing. I guess they're just kind of staring in this scenario, but smiling and staring. Maybe, hopefully, though, that they can just say something and say, "Oh, hi. Do you have any? Can I borrow a cup of sugar or something?" And say, "You shouldn't be eating granulated white sugar anyway. What are you trying to cook?" I'm gonna try to convince you to rethink your cooking. People want to borrow sugar, or eggs, or milk. They're like, "Hello, can I borrow some sugar or eggs or milk?" I've never asked my neighbors for food staples. But I'm not really a big fan of sugar, eggs, or milk, so I would never be asking for those things, especially. I don't remember the last time I've ever used sugar, like the product, just like straight up with like granulated white sugar, even brown sugar. I've definitely eaten a lot of sugar though. It's in everything. You can't get away from it. Granulated white sugar, but I never have used the sugar. I haven't cooked any desserts or eaten, like, sweetened my beverages. That is too few desserts though in there. I'm sure somebody else put granulated white sugar in them, but I guess I never saw it. So then I feel like I'm better. It's like, oh, I don't do that regular sugar thing. But I do. I just don't pay attention to it. I should acknowledge that I'm doing it more and say, no more sugar. Like, out of all things, it's like that extra sugar really is what is doing it. It's really what's hurting you. And it's really what... It's bad. It's bad. It's just not a good thing, and maybe I should be on more of a health kick to deny myself it. But why? What am I to deny myself? And I'm not healthy anyway. But you don't even need to be healthy. That's such a big craze. I think that it's just like if you don't do the sugar thing, that's pretty much all you need to do. Other than that, you can eat garbage. I'm eating pizza right now, so don't ask me for health advice. I say 3 pizza a day keeps the doctor away. But only if you eat the entire pizza. If you only eat a slice of pizza, not as good. It's like that moment. You eat the whole pizza, and it's like unhealthy until you take that last one bite, and suddenly it's like, oh, I don't feel so good. Boing. Eat an entire, like, medium-sized or above pizza to yourself, and suddenly you have ultimate health. That's the secret to health. All those bodybuilders and, drug pushers, aka doctors, after they tell you what your health is going to be, how to obtain it, but they don't want you to know about the whole magical pizza eating health craze. Sorry, when we last time you sat down, it also has to be in one sitting, and you can't get up. Some people want to get up in between. Maybe they If they're eating the whole pizza themselves, they might be going to trying to go to the restroom. But none of that. Not having any of that. You gotta sit down the whole time. You eat every bite. Maybe lick the grease out of the box if you're eating pizza from a place. But you gotta look at it, whatever you do. It's that final bite. Magical health powers. Try it out. What's that thing called? What was I saying earlier? Ding a ding dong, dibby doodah, a ding dang, right? I think it was ding dang. I got it on the replay. Maybe we can go back and look at the replay, but not yet. Not for a while. No replays. We're gonna just like live in the now for a while. I think for at least another, let's say like 10-15 minutes before we start looking at that tape stuff. Maybe that tape stuff is a crutch, and that we should continue to like pound the nails of life with our hands instead of with a hammer. I think I can repeat myself. Maybe I could tell the whole Tuesday story. Telling the story about hitting my hands, using your hands as a hammer. I'm trying to think of anything I saw on the street today. Today I ate these chocolate coffee beans, which is lots of sugar in there. And somebody saw me and then they just said, "Can I have some of those?" I gave him some. I gave this guy some. I think he was maybe mental, but he had a lot of gusto. I guess he saw me eating them first. And like I'm carrying a bag of poison around on the bus just to try to trick people, and then just pull it out, take a look, put it back in my bag. Just shake it up and hold it over my head and go. Somebody sees it, and they say, "Is that candy?" I say, "Why, you want some?" And then they say, "Yes." And I didn't say it wasn't candy. I didn't acknowledge whether it was or wasn't candy. And then they say, "Oh," and they eat it. And then it's, later on they have a disease or something goes, I don't know if it counts as being poisoned. Is it poison? If the poison is cold or something, you just like have like took some. I don't know if colds are in your blood. Maybe they're in your mucus. It's kind of gross though, but you somehow put some active mucus or whatever into the candy. That person gets a cold there. It's like, yeah, I put diseases in your food. I guess it's easier to put diseases into your drinks. But like, if you put a disease in the drink, does it count as poison? Because when you say poisoning, I think like stomach aches and like kind of immediate like, whoa, it's poison. Wow, I've been poisoned. But somebody just like puts like a decent amount of flu mucus, into your drink, and you get the flu. You wouldn't think you've been poisoned. You just think, "Oh man, I got the flu." What a doozy! What a doozy of a flu I have. I wonder how I could have contracted this. There was that one person, they had the flu. Maybe I contracted it from them through regular means of breathing and life. I heard it's going around, and the flu's out there, and I also heard that the flu shot is only something like 40% effective or less or something like that. Somebody told me that recently, that the flu shot is not effective. Not as effective as you would think. And once you get in the shot, it should be. You would think that it'd be, you know, close to very effective at least. You know, like I would consider it to be like on the scale. Like I was gonna say a number, like a percent number, but I don't think that this is something that I would think of it, you know, and like as effective at all. I just think you just think it's effective. Like, you want the flu shot? Oh yeah, it's like, yes, I got the flu shot. I am not going to get the flu. It is effective. It's like very effective. It's like you had to put a number on it. You'd be like, well, I would say 90, but then like 10%. So maybe you'd be like, it's 99% effective. That's what you'd believe. But I think it's more like the scale of effectiveness that is more like attuned to what you would think of the flu shot being effective as, is more of just like a not very to extremely effective, and between there's like not very effective, and then before that it's like questionably effective, and then like kind of effective, and then just like effective, regular effective, and then you have like considerably effective, and then you know, like pretty effective, and then you have like extremely effective, or it's super effective. I think that's what they say. Like, that's what you would think. You think the flu shot's like, oh, I got the flu shot. The flu shot attacks the flu. It's super effective. But I guess it's only 10% or something, like 40% effective instead of 90%. But maybe it's better than 0. You could say that, but I don't know. I don't get the flu shot. I haven't gotten one. I haven't gotten the flu yet, but that's not a good reason to not get the flu shots and stuff. Like, just because I did it, I'm not everybody. Call me a bigot, but I'm not everybody. Call me crazy, but I don't think I'm everybody. I think some people are individuals. I hope nobody's ever poisoned me with the flu. Every time you get sick, you actually been poisoned. It's like, I thought I got the flu from like a reasonable method. I thought that my friend sneezed and that I breathed in the air, or like I was on the bus and somebody sneezed on the bus and the air is around and breathing everybody's breath, and you got the flu from the bus person, but really that bus person slipped a good dollop into you. Maybe they kind of did anyway, just by breathing on you. But either way, you have the flu now. It came from somebody else. And have you been poisoned? I guess poisons to me are like non-organic, like things that are detrimental to the body, like bleach or drugs, like not living drugs. It's pretty wild. I guess that the drugs, whatever, that they can affect your body without being alive themselves. Maybe some of them are. Maybe it's like penicillin is like a life thing, but not I don't know, like Advil or something. Is Advil made from beings, organisms? Organisms are kind of beings, like maybe like alien beings or something. I think beings are smarter than organisms. Guess we're all organisms, but so are those little ones. You know how they say that you're like some kind of percent of bacteria or something, and you're like 30% bacteria or something. But what is the difference between the bacteria and yourself if you're 30%? Because you're so many cells anyway. Which part of it is you? Maybe the bacteria aren't connected to the bloodstream. They're getting their nutrients on their own, but they are connected to the bloodstream. What's the bloodstream, and why is the bloodstream define what makes you, you? Maybe I think that all that stuff, it's part of you and it's not separate. So maybe you're 30% something else. Look at this stuff when you look at it real close. It's gross, and that's all you. That's in you. But if you just look at yourself, it's gross too. Your insides, ugh. So there's your body's made of 30% bacteria and other things. Oh, ew! I don't like that. I want to be made of myself. I don't want to be made of other things. And you say, "Oh," but really, you're made of yourself, and you're not made of other things. Those other things are just like a projection of what's you, and they're like, this is you, this is not you. It's like if you're 70% water, I heard you're 70% water, so maybe it's like you're 70% water, 30% bacteria, then that's it. But I think the water is inside individual little cells. Maybe. You ever seen the diagram of a cell? And they're so small though, I don't think that it like works the same. You can't like take a tiny knife and cut a hole in the cell and then all the water is going to come out. I think at that like level, like that proportion, at that dimension, that water behaves differently than like a big level. Maybe it's also kind of gel. It's kind of like a gel-like structure, but it's not the same kind of gel. It's so small. There's different rules of at that level. And I don't know if there's rules at like bigger levels too. If you have like, I mean, it'd have to be a big level because there's like cell, tiny level of which like what water does. Like ants, you know, they can carry water droplets. Like a drop that's bigger than, or like the size of them, and it just like holds its shape on. They can like carry it on their back. I don't know if they just put it on their back and carry it, or if they like maybe like they're segmented. And they got 3 segments, and maybe the middle 2 legs in the middle segment, they're holding it like this. The other 2 arms down here, just walking. The other 4 legs. Maybe the middle 2 can go up. So they're walking like this, and then they got 4 legs to walk. And then they got 2 legs up here to hold the water droplet, and they can just hold the droplet of water because it stays together. Because they're small. But ants are made of cells too, I think. Aren't they? I believe they are made of cells, but are they like way smaller cells? Is that a thing? Like, if an ant got a disease, how would the bacteria affect them? I guess I don't really understand how cells work and how small they are. I know I looked at an onion. Maybe that's why, like in science, you can just slice an ordinary onion and take a look at it and you can see cells. But maybe they slice the onion because it's got like the biggest cells there are. So it's like easy to demonstrate, but maybe like if cells are smaller than the ants, it's like how small are they? Like what's the range of the size of bacteria? I guess bacteria. I heard bacteria. They can get viruses. What can we get? All bacteria. We got a cold. Bacteria. I got a cold. That throat. Bacteria. Throat hurts. Well, that's how it works. But how does water like? How does water flow at that level? Because even at the ant level, it flows in a weird way. Freddie is here. You ever had a memory? I kind of have been freaking myself out about thinking that you look back into your memories, and then you can remember that when you thought you were alone, but then suddenly in your memory you realize that you weren't alone, and that you saw somebody, but you didn't like perceive it at the time. But that in your memories you can see them. Have you ever experienced that?
So you're looking back into your memories, and then you're like, wait a minute, there's someone in the window in my memory. Oh my God, they're staring at me.
Yeah, and then you look into your memory and you go,
holy shit, there was someone watching. Well, you're like remember that time on the program, and you like look at the tape and you're like, yeah. I'm watching me. You know, you're doing that to yourself, and like all the viewers are doing that to you all the time. Although I think you know that they're watching.
I know you're watching, and there's nobody behind me because there's a wall back there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, how are?
It's so dark out there that if someone was watching you from the window, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like even if they were just like in that tree, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
To be pretty spooky.
Ooh. I realized I've been just sitting here. I've been saying things for this whole time. It's been about 35 minutes. We haven't had the phone.
Oh, wow.
We haven't had the phone, so I've been getting really wild.
I know. I was going to ask you, how's it been without the phones? I tried to call and leave some messages, but the messages are piling up. I bet there's going to be a lot of messages when you finally get the phones. Has it been challenging, or are you starting to hit the peak, or do you even notice?
I'm just not going to them, and I'm just not stopping.
Yeah.
It's just going and going. That's what I've been doing today.
Wow. Well, I saw your brother was on the show the other day.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea. Have you had any other guests in the time that there's been no phones?
Yeah, Luke and Bird were here too.
At the same time or separately?
Separate.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm having fun with the no phones thing. Like if it was for me, like I could just go with the no phones thing. But I think the phones now are more about like Mr. Ginsu.
Yeah.
And like the people who are calling, and viewers, you can call the number, but I don't care if you call anymore. I could just go like longer. Maybe I've really gotten to enough practice.
You can call, but we don't need you to call.
Yeah.
You can if you think it'd be fun for you, and we can get it in there. Yeah.
You think that this I was talking about ants and their cells.
Okay.
And do ants have less cells or smaller cells?
They have less cells. They're made up of less cells, definitely. I don't think they could have smaller cells because at a certain point you get down to the atomic level or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think cells are
so
the same
small.
size. Yeah.
Cells are the same size?
Yeah. Like, if you think about like a single-celled organism, that's a living creature that is only one cell big. But it's a living creature that's the same size as an individual cell that makes up us, which is like really small.
But I was trying to think of what's the range of bacteria too. It's like, are there tiny bacteria and big bacteria?
Yeah, but I think the cells are the same for bacteria too. They're just maybe more efficient organisms, or they need less stuff and less space.
What about in class, science class, they have you look at an onion.
Oh yeah?
Have you ever done that?
I don't know. Is it because they have like little cells inside them? Or like little pockets and stuff that kind of look like cells would look?
You can see the cells.
You can?
You cut it, well, not with your eyes, under the microscope.
Whoa. No, I never did that one.
You look at it. I don't know if you can see the cells. Maybe you can see the cells under a microscope.
I wonder why it's an onion specifically. It seems like maybe there's some reason that it's an onion.
I was thinking that it's like the easiest to see. Like maybe it has the biggest cells.
Oh, like there is different sizes of cells? That seems... Maybe I'm thinking of... Because I know that like atoms, there's not different sizes of atoms. You know, an atom...
Yeah, atoms are the same.
all the same, but maybe cells are different.
Cells aren't like atoms are like even like maybe organic things. They can be called unnatural almost.
Oh.
Like atoms, very very natural, and they're like in space and stuff.
Everything is made of them. Even cells are made of atoms. So
Yeah.
I think maybe I was kind of getting my scales wrong. Maybe you can have different sized cells, but the cells
maybe
are
not
being
too.
made up of
Yeah.
the same thing. So it's like I bet there's a very small range. Like think about the other side here, where instead of going down to the ant level or to the single cellular organism level, what about like the blue whale or something?
Oh yeah.
Like the biggest animal in the whole world. Is that animal have bigger cells than us? I mean, you could like walk through its blood vessels.
Yeah.
It's like blood. Oh. Well, I guess its blood cells are probably bigger than our blood cells, if we're talking
Or
about.
maybe they just have a lot more blood cells.
That could be.
Because like if you could walk in their blood, I guess the blood is probably like there's so many cells in that blood too. Though it's like you can't like go in and walk through their blood vessels and then see a blood cell.
Maybe.
They're so big.
What if a blood... Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That a
Yeah.
blood cell would be, like, so big it would, like, smack you in the face, kind of. Like that.
Or at least
seems
maybe
weird.
be like Cheerios or something.
Yeah, like this size, and that's a blood cell?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I guess
Maybe
like
not.
yeah, they show all those things like when they show blood cells in like
Magic School Bus, maybe?
Magic School Bus or like any kind of science book. It looks like that it like if you had like 4 of them, that would like stop your whole like it would give you a coronary. Like if you had 4 blood cells and they like hit, but really I think it's like 1 million or something cells in there. You know?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, because they're bigger. Yeah, they're trying to blow them up.
yeah, they
to
blow
show
them up
ya.
like a lot.
They look like little pinched discs, like little cookies.
Yeah. I think, the ants just have less cells.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole bug thing, because their legs are so skinny. Maybe we just have way more cells than we think, you know? It's like, how big were the onion cells? Like, when you zoomed in on it, like, how far down were they?
Yeah,
Like, pretty far down?
How far, like magnification-wise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or, like,
Yeah.
if you, like, shifted the onion under the microscope, was it like, whoa, I just saw, like, 1 billion cells go by in my vision?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. I mean, it's like almost in my mind. I can just like look. I can picture myself just like looking at an onion really close.
Oh, my
and
God.
being like, whoa, I can see it. But I don't think that could be
I just
the case.
remembered when I was looking at an onion, and it turns out there was someone standing behind me,
Oh
watching me watch the onion.
Oh, when you're-
What the hell? There's
when you were a kid, yeah.
There's someone staring at me through the window.
And your memories, yeah.
If only you could remember that way. I actually don't have strong enough memories to do that. I really struggle with my memory.
Yeah, me too. But they say like it's like when you're walking around, you're like looking at things, so you're like registering all these things that are like in the back of your mind.
I usually end up having arguments. I've had arguments with my sister before about disremembering the colors of certain things, or like who was at an event, or like what that well, like both, because we were growing up together, we were always doing the same thing. And so I would like say like, oh, and then I don't know, it was like, that was a red truck that we were riding in, and she would say, no, it's a blue truck. And I was like, really? No, you're crazy. It was definitely red. I remember it vividly, and she also remembers it vividly.
Uh-huh.
And we remember opposite details.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of hard to explain, other than some people say that your memory is being rebuilt every time you remember it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like doing that. But maybe it's because we're living in like different dimensions, sort of.
Yeah.
Like we've like jumped tracks.
Well, what is there if your memory is different, then what is real?
Yeah, I think that's probably true. She's remembering a version of reality, and I am as well. And I think that maybe we're just, I don't know, maybe we're actually like, although we've lived together our whole lives. Maybe she's actually from, but I don't know. Like
You slipped.
I slipped into a different dimension
Yeah.
than I was in originally. That's what I think. Or that's like something I think about, maybe.
Yeah,
I should
yeah,
say,
yeah.
rather than that's what I think happened. But
This could happen.
could happen. Because
Yeah.
some of those things, the red truck, blue truck thing is not a good example. I'm trying to remember something. It's like at the time felt so, I was just like, I was positive. Like I was like, you are not remembering it right. I know it was like this. You know, it was not like a color thing. It was like some other similar thing, but like maybe easier to remember at the moment. And, I've heard that kind of thing happening with other folks too. So it's a interesting little phenomenon of memory.
Every time you remember a thing, you're remembering the last time you remembered it.
Oh.
And not the actual thing.
Oh yeah.
You have like memories of memories at this point. And then you start building your own like story. So if at one point you misremembered the color, and then it's like after that, it's like every time you're reinforcing the same thing and think back about it.
Yeah. Have you noticed that there's the stacks are slowly
Yeah, there's some boxes over there.
Yeah, I've been coming in sometimes and putting things in boxes. I brought some more boxes, but I'm picky. I got to make these boxes into the exact right shape of the other boxes.
Yeah.
But we're doing pretty good. None of them are actually completely complete, other than December 2017 is completely complete.
Ooh.
And then tomorrow, this little box you've been working on over here is going to be complete too. January 2018.
Wow.
It's going to have every single episode.
Then what? Do we tape it shut?
I don't know. Should we tape it shut when they're complete? I guess we could. Your plan was 5 years, right?
Yeah, that seems like a really long time though.
I know. I am almost thinking that within the next 90 days I could get, or maybe even in the next 2 weeks, I could get all of 2017 boxed up, and you could start if you wanted to. But
oh yeah, maybe we
things
should
are
go.
mixed in. Maybe we could go all the way back and like finish, and then start from the back.
Oh yeah, that's what I would like to do. Is start from the back, but maybe we should do like a trial month.
Oh
Or
yeah.
Like next month we just look at this month.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. I think the biggest issue is it's really easy to find. Well, it's like not that easy to find them. It's actually a really fun puzzle to go on the wall and like try to figure out where they are, and like they're all like completely through all the avalanches we've had over the last year.
Yeah.
It's like really disorganized.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a fun puzzle.
Well, I think at one point when we brought them to we kept them at the weed store.
Right.
We just they were in a big pile, and then we kind of just gonna put them in a big pile, so they were not just like the avalanches, but like up until like that was only probably a year ago.
No, that was even longer ago, but right, that was like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
they were entirely shuffled. So like the back
That's true.
couple of rows are just in like
Complete disarray.
they
but-
seem. Oh no, it's like down. It's like below the
Yeah.
back couple of rows on the below her. Yeah. Because the stacks were kind of like medium high. I think like, and then we had 3 levels, and then we started building like the stacks, all 3 stacks higher.
Yeah.
At one point.
They actually go up in depth with the same like year and month, like sort of like it's all kind of centralized right now. But I guess I'm feeling like once I get into 2016, everything gets really mixed up. Like 2016 and 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
So
The pile has been growing like in up and out at
Yeah.
the same time, and not like just like you'd seem like you'd do like one layer in the back and then like the next layer, but it is more like growing just like the whole way.
Yeah. Well.
That's when we called Cedar and asked him which way plants grow.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about that?
That's right. They grow. Yeah, they grow towards the light. Is that what they do?
Well,
I think.
I guess they do. My question was like, do they grow from the ground
Mm-hmm.
or from the tips?
Oh, yeah. It's the tips.
I think Cedar said that it was the whole thing, or what did he say? Or did he say
I don't
the
know.
tips?
I know that.
Oh, I think he did say the tips.
Because if you take a tree and you hammer something, like, for instance, there's this bicycle that's on Vashon Island that is like someone like hung it on the tree, maybe like nailed it to the tree or something, and it didn't like rise up the tree. The tree kind of like grew out and like has enveloped the bicycle at the same spot.
Yeah.
So they're not growing. They're like the tips are growing outwards, and the whole thing is kind of growing, like out.
Mm-hmm.
But our plant over here, you know, the leaves aren't like going forward. It's growing new leaves out from the ends of the tips and like wrapping them around the camera slowly. It's going along pretty good. I think the plant is really happy with this new light. The light is helping it.
Is it wrapping itself around the camera?
It is.
Didn't you do that?
I don't know. I think I set it up on the TV. I set it up on the VCR.
Oh.
I think it's growing around the camera. I'm not going to touch it, so we should see how far it goes. But right now, it's like looks like it's kind of. I mean, that's sort of what those vines do. I've actually seen time-lapse videos of vines where they like grow themselves in like this wiggly outward shape, so that they can like start to like, and then they'll like latch onto things and grow around them.
So in a while, it's gonna grow like to the top of the camera, maybe. Whoa.
I think so. I wonder where it's gonna go. It seems like an interesting thing. It's trying to grow all over the place. But
we need a camera.
Yeah.
The thing that we decided, or that we got to wrap around is the camera itself, so we can't look at it.
Yeah, that's true. I also think I might have figured out how to get the computer working, but I guess if the phones aren't working, it seems like you're still uploading YouTube though, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, like the internet ends like right there.
What?
It's like or something. It just doesn't work. I'm not really quite sure what happened. Somebody took the router though. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, the puzzle guy showed me that, and he said this is where it went, and I said, well, why don't we just plug in a new one there? And then he said, it's not like that. Because there was an Ethernet cable hanging down, and that was like an Ethernet cable that he had taken and plugged into that router that was somehow maybe like sending out the Wi-Fi signal. Yeah, it
was a repeater. It wasn't.
I don't know how to set up a repeater.
I don't know, but I feel like I could figure it out.
Yeah,
the internet.
That's true.
But I got a new router. And I gave it to that guy.
Oh.
But he said he was going to do it, but he hasn't. He didn't do it.
Oh. Yeah, I wonder. It's funny that it happened at the same time that the power went out, like around town.
Yeah.
On that day, but.
Whoa! It was some kind of like.
I don't know. I mean, it's totally can't be connected, but.
But the power didn't go out here.
Not here, no. But it was Saturday. Was like the first day of no phones, right? Oh, can you check?
Friday. Yeah, we could look. Should we look at the messages from the past?
I'm curious to see what the messages from the past look like.
Yeah. Yeah, because now we're down to 10 minutes. I haven't done any tape stuff.
Wow.
I've just been saying things.
Wow. That's amazing.
I had more to say than I thought, and now without the phones, I'm just going for the thing. It's kind of
funny to think back to September 19, 2010. We're like, what am I going to talk about? Little did you know how much you actually had to say.
Yeah. I guess we should just record the new one anyway before.
Oh yeah, what am I going to say to the future?
You know, dying. It's also Monday.
Message to the future. What am I going to say to the future?
You going to think about it? And say, uh-oh, I don't have anything to say anymore.
Oh, no, I forgot. I'm thinking too hard. I can't even think of anything. All I can think about is how I haven't thought of anything to say to the future yet. And now it's time to say something to the future.
Hey, future.
Hi. Did you boxed up all the tapes yet? Yeah. We're here in the past. The plant is maybe growing up the camera. Keep an eye on the plant.
Look out behind you.
Oh, yeah. Remember? Someone's sneaking up on you in your memories.
It's Tuesday. Bye. Yeah.
Yeeks. You. Getting a lot of glitches on the titler lately.
Yeah. The memory seeking thing, it's like real fear because it's not like real. I don't think if something is real, is it still fear? Does it still count as fear? Like it's got to be somehow false to be a fear.
Somehow false to be a fear, like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, like it's probably not gonna happen.
Like what can you be are you saying like fear of impending, like death by old age is not really fear? That's like maybe some other thing that's not fear.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm afraid of like biting off my own tongue.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, but you're not gonna do that. Hopefully, I guess. Or
Yeah, probably not. I don't know.
But it could happen.
You could accidentally do it, like if you tripped.
Yeah, I
while
guess
you
I
were,
am afraid of that.
Licking an ice cream cone.
But it's not like a fear. It's not like a fear like a spider or something. Somebody's like, I'm afraid of spiders.
We've got a lot of actual like natural things in place. You know, like when you have you ever walked into a branch and you're like, wow.
I think it's this one because I'm like struggling with the phones on the thing. So yeah, I believe that one's.
Oh wow, okay, that's further. That's not
past.
It's
dry there. Well, maybe I'm good.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, last Tuesday.
Yeah,
So it's been a week.
Here's me, look, I'm falling asleep in the replay.
You can be alive. Are you alive? I hope you are. I am.
And life is great.
Oh, me too.
Got a new computer. Oh, so it's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday?
No,
Oh.
today's Tuesday.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
Pass.
So it's been like about a week.
We're here
I think
on
today-
Wednesday, and life is happening. The phones are being weird.
Oh yeah.
The things I was talking about, pants, like wearing, like
Yeah. Oh.
you can make big pants wearing
Did you hear that?
several
No. What?
pants at once.
The
lots of
Bye.
pants?
having like you don't have. Yeah, I have a lot of things to say. You don't have like enough money to buy
It's
2 pairs of pants between 2 people,
Thursday.
and but you both want to wear pants, so you can
And
only
the
buy
phones
like extra large pants for the same price as small pants.
For the second
And you
day
can
in a
only
row,
buy
so
1 pair of triple X pants, and you have to both wear them at the same time.
Working yet? You
And
the
it's
phones
just
to
'cause of
work
lack
in
of
the
money.
future,
So what? You
Future?
just like stand butt
I
to butt
didn't.
and walk around in the pants?
Yeah. All right. I don't know how you were arranged in the pants. It's up to you.
It seems like that would be the most. That would make the most sense. Although I guess one person's knees got to bend the other way, so maybe you gotta you gotta like be spooning each other the whole time.
How are ya? What do you have to say to the past or the future?
Hey, the past says
I think that was the day one of
you're just like
just getting like
the
The phones were
Crazy.
acting weird,
like
but I wonder if that was.
the history too.
I think that's what I meant.
Just
They
like
just
the
weren't
future.
working.
Oh,
It's all the same, man. This is boring. Nothing ever changes.
Yeah, Luke. The phones still aren't working.
Yeah, we want to know that. Tell us that now. Fill in this blank airspace of time with the answer to that question.
no, they're not working.
It's still not. Yeah.
Still not working.
Bye. That was Thursday, and then Friday.
What happened on Friday?
We got 5 minutes left. The past.
It's the dog.
Daisy. How are you? Look, Bird's here.
Yep. Hope you're doing well.
I am.
Yeah, Bird always
Show's
hopes
over.
Bird is a hopeful person.
I hope.
I hope you're doing well. I hope you keep your hopes alive.
Hope's not enough. What do you have to say to the future?
Actually, I don't really know. Hello, future. That's about all I have today.
Oh, I forgot my lines.
Yeah, I forgot my line.
Andrew's here.
I forgot my wine.
Bye. Bye.
That's good. You guys are good. You got good chemistry on the show. You know,
Written
like
into
good,
your blood.
Yeah.
good, like bouncing.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's what you make it, and we're maybe as a species we've moved
Oh yeah, the
beyond
blood in it.
nature. I think we have.
Ancest. You know
We've
the
moved beyond
thing
nature,
they look at
future,
your
ancestors of the past.
DNA.
It's a replay. We're talking about star ghosts
And then they tell you your
Die.
culture.
and death.
Oh yeah, I've
Like-
been hearing about that.
Like you don't know
actually.
your own culture, and then they're like, "Oh, that's my culture," and then they tell you, and then you like look it up on the
Monday.
internet,
Uh-huh.
and then you say like, "This is my culture now."
Well-
I didn't know before, but my blood told me.
Hi. Did you boxed up all the tapes yet? What about things like this, where somebody,
We're here the
you know,
past
their
maybe going up the camera,
their
keep an eye on the
family is like
Look out
from
behind you!
Ireland, and they
Ah!
Remember?
Ah! Oh, I looked behind
Someone's
me.
sneaking up on you in your memories.
Oh, it's Tuesday. Bye.
Tuesday.
Bye.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if I saw this on a genealogy commercial and it's not true, or if it's something I've actually heard, but somebody thought that they, you know, were like Scottish or something, because their family maybe came from Scotland,
Yeah.
and then so they were like really invested in that culture.
Yeah.
And they, you know, were wearing kilts and stuff, and then they found out that they actually were not Scottish genetically. But their family still came from Scotland.
Yeah.
It's just like they didn't have the genetic material or the genetic like markers that like indicated that these traits that are Irish or Scottish were like passed actually down, and so that really put them in a thing where they feel like, now I don't know if this is my identity, and should I like find the identity from my blood,
like whatever
yeah,
that
that's
is.
not your identity. That's what I was saying yesterday. Is like it's not in your blood. Suddenly you have a culture. It's like written into your blood. Your culture is like how you grew up and what is
Yeah.
around you and stuff. And TV.
Yeah.
Like for me, well, it's like it's like you're watching a lot of TV. I think a lot of us have TV instead of culture these days.
Yeah. So yeah, and that definitely doesn't get in your blood. Like you can't
Yeah.
be like, it's not in your blood that you've watched every episode of The Simpsons as formative comedy. I'm not saying you, but I've met people like this where it's like their understanding of humor is like been developed by television, not by their blood.
Yeah.
It's by the culture that they live inside of. So.
Also, the FBI is just trying to like find murderers. I think
Oh yeah, murderers and aliens.
they're gonna frame. Yeah, aliens. Maybe they're gonna frame you, or like you're like a quarter alien. What if your grandfather is an alien,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he never told you?
Oh.
You're like I'm a quarter. You're a quarter, or they don't tell you. They don't tell you what it is.
You get your 23andMe back, and you're like, oh, actually, like this thing means you're an extraterrestrial.
Yeah. But it just says it's just gonna say that you're whatever Scottish or not Scottish, and you're like, oh, I'm not Scottish, but actually they're going after your grandfather's grave.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you mean. Yeah. Well, watch out for that. Size of cells.
Yeah.
Your cells. We did your blood, and your cells are too big. You've got big cells.
Your cells are you have ant-sized cells.
Yeah, your cells are the cells of ants.
You're actually a giant.
Your grandfather was an ant.
You got small. It's like I went to the doctor. I was feeling bad. They said you have small cells. They're like, that's it. We're like,
Not
oh
a joke. This is
yeah.
actually just what happened to me at the doctor's
oh,
office the
no.
other day. I'm actually looking for sympathy. Yeah, well,
That's why they're not doing it. They gotta work out to grow your cells. The show's almost over. We only have a minute left here.
well, I feel like I got what I was hoping.
This Friday is gonna be that first Friday thing. I think we're gonna actually maybe do it this time.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't get the phones working before then we'll check all these messages and talk to this Molten Salt band.
Oh yeah. We'll
So we
just
got a band.
spend the whole time on the phone, so we don't have to go to TCTV just to use the phone.
That is something that they have there, you know. It's a phone.
Yeah. You get few enough messages that like we could just do like no phones day if we ever do get the phones back too.
Thursday, no
'Cause
phones.
I'm
day.
having fun.
Tuesday, maybe.
without the
Tuesday's a
phones.
good day for no phones, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Just because it's so real on its own.
It's like call us every day except for Tuesday. It's the end of the show.
Got some owls in there. What are you doing, owl? Flying around? Wonder how big the cells of an owl are. Are they smaller than the cells?
It's Tuesday. Oh, but haven't you seen that cell?
condor?
That cell that's like really big. That's
What
like
cell?
6 inches big, and
Whose
it's a cell. It's like the single cell, and it's like in the ocean. It's like 6 inches, and they're like, this is one cell.
Oh, okay. There we go.
360-836-4384.
I guess there must be bigger and smaller sized cells. It's weird to think that a single cell could be made up of more atoms than other
Well,
cells, though,
it
'cause
have
that's what that would
to.
mean. It would just mean that this cell is made up of more atoms than other cells, which is crazy that could even be. Like,
Graham.
what determines whether it's a single cell or not? Is it
TCTV,
just
La
the
Baby,
fact-
Dirty Fabulous, Graham, step out of I'm up to Thurston County Washington State, USA, and like it's there's 30% of your guts.
It's bacteria.
Or bacteria, but
That's true.
that's just you though, right?
Yeah.
Hell
I think
yeah,
that is
dog.
you, but they are living organisms separate from you. But I guess that's what you are too.
Bye.
We're not just one thing.